once again, everybody, I'm Chris Berman. Welcome to ESPN's NFL Primetime. We're running the slot left once again. Joining me, as always, Tom Jackson and Joe Theismann. Can you see out of those things?
I can see, but I got to be honest with you. I think the Kansas City Chiefs thought a lot too much of this.
Yes, I think they're seeing
Bill's glasses.
Yes, they're seeing double over there. Yeah, we have fun. We like football. Let's show you what happened today. Week number 6. Can you remember that far back? It was a Monday night in Kansas City when the Chiefs dissed the Bills 33-6. Buffalo at that time was knocked from the undefeated rank. They were actually embarrassed in that ball game. Well, 3 months later at Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, Buffalo had the Chiefs on their turf. They played it at their pace, and they had the Chiefs at their mercy. Here we go in front of 80,000 plus. Bill No Mas says, Butch, you're shaking, rattling, and rolling. Get the helmet off. Fred Jones nails Clifford Hicks. Chiefs trying to come and hitting hard. But portent of what was to come, first play of the game, Tim Grunhard, the center, steps on Steve DeBerk. Nice play action, though. The entire Chiefs defensive, are they anxious? Are they anxious or what? Rob Thomas is trapped, and Grunhard, come on, Tim, you can't do this and pull him for a first down. Hits a flag instead. Bills took a while to get going, but late in the first quarter, Jim Kelly, hey, James Lofton is healthy. Why don't I go to him for 15 yards? Jim Kelly says, hey, Don Beebe's healthy. Why don't I go to him for 19 yards? Hey, like every other week, Andre Reed is healthy. Why don't I go to him for 25 yards? Touchdown, late first, 7-0, Buffalo. And as the crowd is excited, Pearson was beaten, Tom.
Yeah, Chris, as Joe has explained to me many times, when you spread the offense like this, hard to guess at what a receiver's going to do. Here, Reed blows right by J.C. Pearson for the touchdown.
Kelly continued to go to his newfound old friends. Beebe beats Eric Everett. And then, with Urban Randall blitzing, Kelly lobs it to Thermal Thomas for 5 yards, and a good read by Jim Kelly, Joe.
Yeah, right in the circle. You see Randall. Of course, Kelly says, I know where you are. You're going to move. It doesn't matter. I don't want it. Here, Thurman, you take it. And Thurman puts his head right in Duran's 2-0. And if he still gets the game.
Duran played a big game today, though, in a losing effort. Now, who knows what evil lurks? The shadow does. Thurman moves left. Kelly steps up. Andre Reed is open. Right down the middle. It's a touchdown. 53 yards, and it's 14-0, the Buffalo Bills.
The man in the circle this time is Duran Cherry. What happens when they commit to the blitz? He knows he has Thurman Thomas in coverage. Thomas blocks, but it's too late. Andre Reed's gone by him.
Reed in the first half. This would be his game stats. 4 receptions, pair of touchdowns. Yeah, we'll buy you, Andre, a pina colada at the Pro Bowl. 19-28, Kelly in the first half for 245 yards. Finished just shy of 300. One of those interceptions, not his fault. Keith McKellar is picked. Lonnie Kmart picks it. And then Eric Everett comes up with the football. And Tommy, you practice this, don't you?
Yeah, every defense practices a tip drill, Chris. You won't see it run much better than this. The last guy has to focus on catching the ball.
But the Chiefs couldn't convert it into points with the score 14-0 still. Kelly, but Kevin Ross almost made it 14-7, but could not. What about the Bills defense? Walt Core, defensive coordinator, hoping Buffalo could stick the Kansas City running attack. Barry Word, never a discouraging word, says Cornelius Bennett. Bennett throws Jonathan Hayes aside, make him feel like Purple Hayes, and he stops Ward again. Chiefs rushing in the first half today, 51 yards back in week 6 when they won 117. So they know that threesome is in trouble late in the first half. And rushing beats Derek Graham. And along with Jeff Wright, they nail the gutsy veteran Steve DeBerg. Berge is a gamer, tried to keep going, but sprained ligaments in his right thumb. So DeBerg had to leave. And late in the first half, it was the turn of the pickle, Mark Vlasic. And he immediately was in a pickle. Leonard Smith on the blitz.
Yeah, and this is so Marty Schottenheimer like throwing the ball inside their own 20-yard line.
It didn't work. Neither did anything else in the first half. 17-0 Bills at halftime. Second half, the Chiefs' troubles continue. The first play, Harvey Way, but Jonathan Hayes falls on it, so they dodge a bullet. Or do they? Next play, Vlasic picked off. One of 2 interceptions on the day by Kirby's Jackson. 4 in all. James Lofton says, we got the ball. Why don't you throw it to me? Okay, I haven't caught a touchdown for a while. Here you go, says Jim Kelly. 10-yard touchdown. The Bills lead 24-0.
This is great coordination between Lofton and Kelly. Our own quarterback, Joe Theismann, will analyze this later on.
Well, the nose tackle of the Chiefs, Dan Salamua, was in shock, but unfortunately for him and the Chiefs, it was. We're going to continue play. Not what they wanted to hear. Certainly not Mark Vlasic. Completed 13 passes. These weren't some of them. Burden, incomplete. Burden, incomplete. Burden, incomplete. Of those 13 completions, 4 of them were to Buffalo Bills. Here's one pick off by Clifford Hicks. Scott Norwood, he had a big day, kicked 3 field goals. All in all, the Bills chopped the Chiefs big time, 37-14. The Bills 8-1 at home this year. Thurman Thomas ran for 100 yards. All told, 448 yards for Buffalo, only 213 for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills ran 87 plays. After the game, Andrew Kramer spoke to some of the victorious Bills.
Thanks very much, Chris. With the wisecracking Jim Kelly over here, good day for him, obviously. 273 yards, 3 touchdowns. Why so much success audibling today, Jim?
Well, by watching a lot of film, we knew exactly what we had to do, and just married getting in the right play at the right time. But without a doubt, for those people who watched last a couple months ago's Kansas City game, they saw I didn't have much time to throw, and that was the key today. The whole 5 offensive linemen, they did one heck of a job.
Well, obviously, it's a real disappointment to our football team and our organization to come in here and not perform any better than we did. Clearly, it's a damn fine Buffalo football team and a tremendous gathering of fans.
The crowd noise was the loudest I've ever seen, during my career, and it was definitely a factor. If we'd have beat them today, we would have had to play much better than them with to overcome the crowd noise.
But I want to tell you one thing: when you plant the grapes and you harvest them, you deserve to taste the wine, baby. And I'm going to taste that wine today. You can bet on that.
Drinking wine, Spodioti drinking wine. This time, the Chiefs offense rushed for only 77 yards. Time of possession, 25 minutes, almost 26 minutes. The last time they played, that blowout that Kansas City had over the Bills, little different story. No wonder the defensive players and staff are sipping a little wine. You don't want to drink any wine before it is time. Joe, we talked about it on game day this morning. The Bills set out to stop the run. This just in, they did.
Well, that's the whole thing, Chris. When you play a football team that is singularly dimensioned, we saw it yesterday with Washington against Atlanta. All Atlanta could do was throw the football. They stopped them. They had no chance. Today, all Buffalo had to do was stop Kansas City, run the football. They had no chance. It worked out exactly according to plan. It's tough to beat a team that can run and pass when you can only do one thing.
Also, Joe, I think a lot of credit to Ted Marchibroda, the Bills' offensive coordinator. They knew that the Kansas City Chiefs wanted to take away Thurman Thomas and James Lofton. They didn't want to give up the quick score. So all of a sudden, they made the adjustment late in the first quarter. They said, where's BB? Where's Reed? The rest is now history.
Can't double everybody. Too many weapons for the Bills when Kelly and company are clicking. BB 6 catches, the tight end McKellar at 5, Reed at 4. Thermal ran for 100 yards. Kenneth Davis ran for 75 yards. When it's all clicking, they have too many weapons. And Denver, or whoever else might play the Buffalo Bills, going to have a lot of problems. They know that it's hard to shut down everybody. Bills at home, last 3 playoff games, 44-51, now 37 points. And in the 17 games that the Bills have played this year, they average almost 400 yards a game. That's almost 100 yards more than the average team in the NFL, and almost 10 points more than the average team in the NFL. That's why they win more than the average team in the NFL. They also have, forget the stats, a better than average defense. The Chiefs found out about that today. We'll analyze in a moment. Back on NFL Game Days, we continue to analyze the first game. We'll get to the Detroit-Dallas game in a moment. Tommy, we saw it on Game Day. Walt Corey went to the chalkboard and said, I asked him, what are you going to do differently against the Kansas City Rams? I said, yeah, see this guy 78? That's Bruce Smith. See this guy 91? That's Jeff Wright, the nose tackle. We've got them in. Maybe that'll work. It did.
Well, Walt has a way of keeping it simple. You know, all year people have thought that the Buffalo Bill defense is susceptible to the run, which makes them susceptible to everything else. But all of that changed with the return of Bruce Smith. And what Walt Corey likes to do with Bruce Smith now, and especially as he gets healthier, move him around. Here you see him cocked between the center and the guard. That creates a problem. Then you see him in his normal right end spot. Again, another problem for the offensive line. You have to make adjustments. What does it do? Here he again at the right end, his normal spot. All the way down the line, they are counting people, trying to figure out how do we get him doubled? How do we get him tripled? The result? You end up missing a guy like Cornelius Bennett on the other side of the line. Now, I watched that Buffalo Bill offense today. I guess the Bronco D may have reason to worry, Joe.
You know, I remember John Elway saying yesterday, hope we play Kansas City. Not. Ain't gonna happen. The thing that impressed me so much, when you get tied up in trying to figure out how to stop that Buffalo Bill offense, you know there's only one Thurman Thomas, so you know where he's going to be. But what do you do when you try and figure out how to cover 4 wide receivers? They're spread out all over the football field. So the thing you want to do is you want to find, okay, in this case, James Lofton. Lofton is split down the lower end of the screen. You see Jim Kelly go back. Now he makes the pump fake. By pumping, because you're so close to the goal line, the defensive backs have to react to the ball. They can't sit back. They don't have time to react after it's thrown. Now Lofton, all he does is break up after Ross makes his move. Kelly lofts the ball in the air, and you wind up with a TD on top of it. It's an excellent execution of a pump, fake, and go. He loads it, gets it back real quick, boom, drops it out, touchdown.
What lost in the shuffle was that Thurman Thomas ran for 100 yards for his 4th straight postseason game. But I'll tell you what shouldn't be lost in the shuffle. End of the half, I'm not suggesting that the Buffalo Bills were so arrogant that they passed up a touchdown to let Norwood kick a field goal at the end of the first half. It was good from 33 yards. You see how much this meant to him. But I'll tell you what's even more important. A lot of times kickers, even if they make it, only a couple guys go over to them. Watch the big-name players. Jim Kelly's going to come over. Cornelius Bennett. All the Bills know we need you, Scott Norwood, to kick a big field goal at some point, sometime. He did that. He was 3 for 3, and that move at the end of the half to get Norwood's confidence back may be something that may be proved very important next week or a couple more weeks down the road.